This section is going to go over club travel and requirements for traveling with your club. If your club wants to do an event that takes place more than a 30-minute drive from campus, and or your members are going to be spending the night away from campus, it's considered travel. And all travel must be approved by Jess Haywood in the Student Belonging and Engagement Office. We have various requirements for planning and implementing club travel. The first piece is that, as previously stated, it has to be approved by Jess Haywood. Some travel might also require approval by SOU's risk manager. For example, if you're doing something more high risk, like a surfing trip. The second point is your club advisor will be included in all conversations regarding travel plans. Make sure that you're bringing them in on those conversations so that they can help you make the best plans and give you advice. Once you've submitted your event registration on HawkNest for your travel event, your club advisor will need to approve your travel after it's been submitted. So it will first go to them through the workflow. They need to approve it, and then it will come to Belonging and Engagement for approval. So make sure that your advisor knows that that's part of their duties and to keep an eye out for that. If you're planning on traveling out of state or a longer trip, you should reach out to Jess Haywood for guidance on planning your trip at least a month before your trip dates. For example, if you're going to a national conference, we can help you book and purchase flights, hotels, conference tickets, etc. When you're traveling, you must provide the Office of Student Belonging and Engagement a list of attendees no later than 5 days prior to travel. There is an option on the event registration form that asks you to add attendee names. And if you can't complete it at the time you're filling out the form, make sure you either send a list of attendees or update the form to add extra people once you know who's going. We have a new update on how we will be managing travel and our assumption of risk forms for travel on HawkNest. So pay close attention to this section. When you create your event registration on HawkNest for a travel event, there is a new template called Travel Event Template for Clubs that you need to use. This template already includes the assumption of risk waiver in the waiver section, as well as requiring the waiver to be filled out, and it includes questions about emergency contact, etc. So this template will help us gather the information that we need for your travel and make sure that we're covered with assumption of risk forms. The second piece with this is that you must make sure that all of your travelers register for the event on HawkNest before they travel. When they register, they will be required to complete and submit the travel assumption of risk form as part of that process. This way, we know exactly who is going because they are registered, and we are sure that we get an assumption of risk form as part of that registration before they leave. It is the responsibility of the club leaders who are completing this training and submitting travel requests to make sure that this is shared to all of your travelers, that they need to register for the event ahead of time. Even if they haven't registered by the time they show up to leave on the trip, make sure that they open HawkNest right then and there before getting in the car and register for the event so we have the assumption of risk form completed before they leave. Other information on travel. If you're doing a reimbursement for travel, it will likely require a special travel reimbursement form. These forms are found on the Club Leader Cohort Forms page under Reimbursements/Purchase Requests, and it's listed as travel reimbursement. There is more information on travel purchasing later in this section of training. For any overnight stays, you must include in the event registration form the name and address of the lodging where your team will be staying. We are required by federal law to report this information, so it's important that we know where you are staying. You also shouldn't plan to stay in a rental house or something like Vrbo, Airbnb, etc., because it constitutes a contract and it's a little bit harder for us to figure out. If staying in an Airbnb is your only feasible option for traveling, please contact Jess Haywood and we can see if we can work with you. Keep in mind, travel needs to be planned early. At minimum 1 month in advance for a smaller trip. If you're doing a larger trip that includes airfare, etc., we need to be planning that more than a month in advance and make sure that you reach out to me. So 2 to 3 months is recommended for those larger trips. Keep in mind that event registration forms are usually require 10 days to be submitted 10 days ahead of time. But for travel events, we ask for 2 weeks or 14 days prior to your travel at minimum to be able to complete travel logistics. That's for closer travel trips, like you're driving to the coast. As I said, if you're doing a larger event, you do need to plan further ahead.